Hey folks, welcome back. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been out somewhere, maybe at a cafe, a grocery store, or just walking down the street, and you notice a younger woman looking at you? She holds eye contact for just a second longer than usual, maybe even flashes a quick smile, and in that moment, you start second-guessing. Was that real? Was she just being polite? There's no way she could actually be interested, right? A lot of older men experience this, but completely dismiss it. They assume younger women only go for guys their own age, or that attraction is purely about looks and youth. But here's what most men don't realize. That smile isn't always just politeness. Sometimes it's curiosity, sometimes it's admiration, and sometimes it's a subtle sign of attraction that you were never taught to recognize. See, society has convinced a lot of men that once they hit a certain age, their value in the dating world starts to decline. That younger women wouldn't be interested unless money or status were involved. But that's simply not true. Because the reality is, many younger women are naturally drawn to older men for reasons that have nothing to do with wealth and everything to do with presence, confidence, and experience. The problem is, most men don't know how to read these moments correctly. Some ignore them completely, missing out on real opportunities for connection. Others overthink them, second-guessing themselves into inaction. But today, that changes. In this video, we're going to break it all down. You'll discover exactly why younger women notice older men, what's going on in their minds when they smile at you, and how to carry yourself in a way that makes you even more magnetic, without trying to be someone you're not. By the end, you'll see yourself the way they do, and trust me, once you understand this, you'll never look at these interactions the same way again. So if you're ready to shift your mindset, start seeing the signs clearly, and tap into an attraction that's been there all along. Stick with me. Let's get started. Number 1. She admires your confidence. Hey folks, let's talk about something that most older men don't even realize they have. An advantage that younger guys simply can't fake. And no, I'm not talking about money, status, or even physical appearance. I'm talking about something much more powerful. It's confidence, but not just any kind of confidence. Not the loud, attention-seeking, look at me type of confidence that some younger guys try to show off. That's not real confidence. That's insecurity wearing a mask. What younger women notice about older men is something entirely different. It's calm, steady, effortless self-assurance. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need to be announced because it's felt. And that's exactly what makes you stand out. Now, let's get real for a second. How many times have you been out somewhere? Maybe grabbing coffee, maybe walking through a store, maybe just sitting alone, minding your own business, and you catch a younger woman glancing at you. Maybe she smiles, maybe she holds eye contact for a second longer than expected, but you brush it off. She's just being polite, you tell yourself. There's no way she's actually interested. But let me ask you something. Stoic friends, why do you assume that? Why is your first instinct to dismiss the idea that she might actually admire something about you? Here's what's actually happening. Women, especially younger women, are drawn to presence. And a man who is comfortable in his own skin, who isn't trying to seek validation or prove himself, radiates a kind of presence that young men simply don't have yet. It's not about looks. It's not about trying to act younger. It's about an energy that says, I don't need to impress you. I know who I am. And that is rare. Think about it. Younger guys, for the most part, are still figuring themselves out. They're caught up in trying to prove something to women, to their peers, even to themselves. That's why they talk too much, try too hard, and sometimes overcompensate. They're reactive, always adjusting based on how they think others see them. But an older man? He's already been through enough in life to know that he doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. And younger women notice that. They admire the way you carry yourself, the way you don't get flustered by little things, the way you listen instead of just waiting for your turn to talk, the way you own your space without needing to dominate it. That level of quiet confidence is something most young men haven't developed yet, and that's exactly why it stands out. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about pretending to be confident. You can't fake this. Women, especially intuitive ones, can smell fake confidence from a mile away. That's why guys who try too hard, who play games, who act aloof to seem cool, they fail. Because confidence isn't about acting detached or trying to impress. It's about being completely at peace with who you are. So the next time a younger woman smiles at you, don't immediately dismiss it. Don't assume it's just politeness. Recognize what's actually happening. She sees something in you that's different. She sees a man who is steady, a man who doesn't need to seek approval, a man who commands respect simply by existing in his own power. That's the kind of confidence that turns heads without you even trying. That's the kind of confidence that leaves an impression long after you've left the room. Now, let me ask you something. Stoic friends, are you ready to fully embrace this version of yourself? If you are, I want you to drop a comment below and type, "Confidence is effortless." Say it, believe it, and start paying attention to how people react to you differently. But listen, this is just the beginning. Confidence is the foundation, but there's something else that sets you apart. Something even more powerful that most men never realize. Once you understand it, you'll start seeing these moments with younger women in a completely new light. Stick with me, because what I'm about to share next might just change the way you see yourself forever. Number 2, you stand out from the crowd. Hey folks, let's talk about something most older men don't even realize. They naturally stand out from the crowd, and that alone makes them more attractive than they think. But here's the thing. It's not about dressing flashy, being the loudest in the room, or trying to keep up with younger guys. No, it's the exact opposite. You stand out because you're different, because you carry yourself in a way that sets you apart without even trying. And younger women, they notice. Picture this. You walk into a bar, a cafe, or any social setting, and take a look at the younger men around you. What do you see? A lot of noise. Guys talking over each other, trying to be the funniest, the most charming, the most impressive. They're caught up in this unspoken competition, all fighting for attention, all desperate to prove something. And then there's you, calm, collected, not playing the game, because you don't need to. You're just there, comfortable in your own space, completely unbothered by whether or not anyone is paying attention. And that's exactly what makes people pay attention. Younger women, whether they realize it consciously or not, are drawn to contrast. The human brain is wired to notice what's different. If you put a single black suit in a sea of blue ones, people's eyes go to the black suit. If everyone is loud and someone is quiet, curiosity builds around the quiet one. This is why, as an older man, you stand out. You're not in a rush to prove yourself. You've already lived, learned, and figured out who you are. You don't feel the need to seek validation because you validate yourself. That kind of self-assurance is something most younger guys simply don't have yet. And when a woman notices it, she starts wondering about you. Now, here's where a lot of older men get it wrong. Instead of embracing what makes them unique, they try to fit in. They dress like younger guys, adopt the same slang, try to match their energy, thinking that's the way to connect with younger women. But the second you start acting like the crowd, you lose the very thing that makes you attractive. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to compete on someone else's playing field when you already have the advantage just by being yourself. Women, especially younger ones, aren't looking for an older man who's trying to be younger. They're drawn to older men because of the qualities younger men don't have yet: composure, depth, and a quiet kind of power that speaks without needing to shout. So instead of trying to keep up with younger guys, do the opposite. Lean into your uniqueness. Be the man who listens more than he talks. Be the guy who doesn't feel the need to interrupt or dominate a conversation just to get attention. Be the man who is comfortable enough in himself that he doesn't need external validation to feel valuable. That's what makes you stand out. That's what makes people wonder about you. Younger women spend most of their time surrounded by guys their own age, and most of them are predictable. They act the same, talk the same, react the same way. But when they come across a man who is different, who isn't playing the same social games, who doesn't get flustered or try too hard, they notice. And the reason they notice isn't just because it's refreshing, it's because it creates curiosity. And curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in attraction. Once a woman is curious about you, she starts paying attention. She starts wondering what makes you tick. What's behind your calm demeanor? Why you don't react the way other men do? And once that happens, she's already more drawn to you than any of the younger guys scrambling for her attention. The secret to standing out is simple. You don't do more. You actually do less. You speak with purpose, not just to fill space. If you have something to say it with intention. If you don't force it. You hold eye contact when you talk, not aggressively, but steadily. Most younger men look away quickly because they lack confidence. When you hold eye contact in a calm and natural way, it says everything without you having to say a word. And perhaps most importantly, you embrace silence. Younger guys try to fill every gap with words. But a man who is comfortable with silence, that's power. At the end of the day, standing out isn't about being flashy. It's about owning your presence without trying too hard. The moment you stop competing, the moment you stop trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for you, that's when you start commanding attention without even trying. Younger women notice because they're used to dealing with men who are still figuring themselves out. When they meet a man who already knows who he is, it changes everything. So, Stoic friends, let's make this real. If you're ready to embrace your uniqueness and stand out effortlessly, drop a comment below and type, "I own my presence." Say it. Believe it. And start carrying yourself like the man who doesn't chase because he doesn't need to. But listen, we're just getting started, because there's another layer to this that makes you even more attractive to younger women. It's not just about standing out. It's about the energy you radiate. And once you understand what that does to people around you, everything changes. Stay with me, because what's coming next will give you an even deeper edge. Number 3, you radiate stability. Hey folks, let's talk about something that's becoming rarer and rarer in today's world. Stability. Not just financial stability, not just career success, but something even deeper. Emotional stability, mental stability. The ability to be grounded when everyone else is caught in chaos. And here's the thing. Younger women notice this. Think about it. Most younger guys are still figuring themselves out. They're still reacting to life instead of controlling their responses. They get caught up in drama. They chase instant gratification. And they don't yet have the life experience to stay calm when things don't go their way. Younger men are often impulsive, emotionally unpredictable, and easily thrown off balance. But you, You've been through life. You've seen enough ups and downs to know that nothing lasts forever. Not the highs, not the lows. You've developed a level of steadiness that younger men simply don't have yet. And that steadiness, it's magnetic. Imagine this. Two men are in the same situation. A stressful day at work, an argument, or an unexpected challenge. The younger man reacts instantly. He gets frustrated. He complains. Maybe he lashes out or lets his emotions control him. Meanwhile, the older man, he pauses. He takes a breath. He evaluates the situation with clarity before deciding how to respond. Which man do you think exudes power? Which man do you think makes a woman feel safe, secure, and drawn toward his presence? Exactly. See, younger women spend most of their time surrounded by guys who are still emotionally unsettled. One moment they're confident, the next they're insecure. One day they're all in, the next they're confused about what they want. This kind of unpredictability is exhausting. And after a while, women start looking for something different, something more grounded, something stable. And that's where you come in. When a younger woman interacts with you, she can feel the difference. She can tell that you don't get easily rattled. She notices that you don't waste energy on things that don't matter. She sees that you don't engage in petty arguments, that you don't let small inconveniences ruin your day. And whether she realizes it or not, she starts associating you with peace. And let me tell you something, folks, peace is rare. When a woman meets a man who makes her feel safe, secure, and understood, that's when her guard starts to drop. That's when attraction deepens. Because real attraction isn't just about looks, money, or charm. It's about how a woman feels when she's around you. Most younger men make women feel like they have to be on edge, walking on eggshells, constantly guessing where they stand, never fully able to relax. But a man who radiates stability, he's a rare find. He's the man who makes a woman feel at home just by being in his presence. Now, here's where most guys mess this up. They think being stable means being boring, that if they're not dramatic, if they don't stir up excitement, if they don't create chaos, women won't find them interesting. But that's the mistake of someone who doesn't understand true attraction. Stability isn't boring. Stability is powerful. A man who is stable isn't emotionless. He's just in control. He's not reactive, but he's present. He doesn't chase validation, but he gives reassurance when needed. He doesn't play games, but he creates certainty. And certainty is something most women crave more than they even realize. So how do you radiate stability in a way that women notice? It starts with how you handle yourself. Stay calm under pressure. When things don't go your way, when plans fall apart, when life throws a curveball, your reaction matters. The man who can smile through uncertainty, who can adapt without frustration, is the man who becomes unforgettable. Be decisive. Indecision is a sign of instability. A man who knows what he wants, who can make decisions without hesitation, creates an atmosphere of trust. Women respect men who can lead, even in small ways. Set emotional boundaries. You don't let external things control your internal world. You don't let negativity seep into your mind. You don't waste energy on things that don't serve you. This kind of self-mastery, it's rare, and it makes you irresistible. At the end of the day, stability isn't about having all the answers. It's about being the kind of man who can handle whatever comes his way. And that's attractive. So, Stoic friends, let's make this real. If you're ready to own your presence, to radiate stability in a way that commands respect and attention, drop a comment below and type, "I am unshakable." Say it. Believe it. And watch how people start reacting to you differently. And here's the thing, stability is powerful. But there's something else that younger women notice about older men. Something even more undeniable. It's not just about confidence. It's not just about presence. It's about the one thing that makes you completely unforgettable. Stick with me, because what I'm about to share next will change the way you see attraction forever. Number 4. She finds experience attractive. Hey folks, let's talk about something that most men underestimate: the power of experience. A lot of older men assume younger women are only drawn to youthful energy, looks, or status. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Experience is attractive, and not just in a been around longer kind of way. It's attractive because it represents wisdom, emotional depth, and an understanding of life that younger men simply don't have yet. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a conversation with a younger woman and noticed how attentive she was? Maybe she asked thoughtful questions. Maybe she leaned in slightly when you spoke. Maybe she even seemed to soak in what you were saying. That's not random. That's not just politeness. That's genuine interest. See, younger women are used to men their own age who are still figuring things out. Younger guys often talk a lot, but say very little. They focus on trends, surface-level topics, or try too hard to impress. But when a younger woman speaks to an older man, the dynamic shifts. The conversation takes on a different depth. There's substance. There's perspective. There's an element of real-life experience that makes her feel something new. And here's where a lot of guys mess up. They assume that their experience alone is enough. But it's not just about what you've been through, it's about how you carry it. Think about it. Two men could go through the exact same challenges in life, but one comes out bitter, blaming others, talking about how unfair life is. The other, he learns from his experiences, grows from them, and uses them as a foundation for wisdom rather than resentment. That's the difference between being an older man with baggage and an older man with presence. Women can feel the difference. A younger woman isn't attracted to experience in itself. She's attracted to what that experience has shaped you into. She's drawn to the way you stay calm in situations that would make other men panic. She notices how you don't react emotionally to small things, how you see through the noise of life, how you handle conversations with thoughtfulness rather than impulsiveness. She can sense that you've been through things, and instead of those things breaking you, they've built you. And let's talk about something else. How experience changes the way you interact in relationships. Younger men, for the most part, are still operating on uncertainty. They chase. They play games. They struggle with commitment. They don't fully understand how to lead in a relationship. But you've been through enough to know exactly what you want. You've learned the lessons. You understand what works and what doesn't. And that certainty is rare. Women, especially younger women, are drawn to men who know where they're going. Not just in relationships, but in life. When a man is decisive, steady, and intentional, it removes all the uncertainty that most younger guys bring to the table. And that's a breath of fresh air. Now, here's the trap that some older men fall into. They assume that because they have experience, they need to teach or lecture. But that's not attractive. Women don't want a professor. They want a man who embodies the lessons he's learned rather than constantly explaining them. Your experience should show in the way you move through life, in the way you handle challenges, in the way you remain unshaken by things that throw others off. You don't have to prove that you're experienced. It should be felt in how you carry yourself. So, let's make this real. If you're ready to own your experience, not as a burden, but as an asset, drop a comment below and type, "Experience is power." Say it. Believe it. And start recognizing that what you've been through isn't just part of your past. It's part of your presence. But here's where it gets interesting. Just because a younger woman admires your experience doesn't mean she's immediately sold. In fact, sometimes she'll test the waters. She'll challenge your energy, push your patience, just to see if your confidence is real or just an act? Why does this happen? What does it mean? And most importantly, how do you handle it in a way that makes her even more drawn to you? Stick with me, because what I'm about to share next will completely shift how you see these interactions. Number 5, she's testing the waters. Hey folks, let's talk about something that most men miss when interacting with younger women: the subtle ways she tests you. You see, just because she's intrigued by your confidence, drawn to your stability, and fascinated by your experience, that doesn't mean she's fully convinced yet. She needs to test the waters. Now, before you think this is some kind of game or manipulation, let's break it down. Women, especially younger ones, test men naturally. It's not because they're trying to play mind games or make your life difficult. It's because they want to feel your energy under pressure. They want to see if the confidence and composure you radiate are real or just an act. Think about it. Any guy can appear confident at first. Anyone can talk about how much they've learned, how stable they are, or how much experience they bring to the table. But words are easy. It's actions that reveal the truth. So, how does she test the waters? Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's more direct, but one way or another, it always happens. Let's say you're having a conversation, and she suddenly challenges something you say, not in an aggressive way, but in a playful, curious way. She might tease you, disagree just to see how you react, or throw a comment that forces you to either stand firm in your presence or get thrown off. What she's really looking for in that moment is how you handle yourself. Do you get defensive? Do you start over-explaining yourself? Do you fold the moment you feel challenged? Because if you do, you fail the test. See, younger guys are often reactive. They feel the need to prove themselves, to debate, to win every interaction. But you don't need to prove anything. You stay cool, composed, and unshaken. That's what she's looking for. A man who doesn't crumble under a little pressure. A man who can hold his own without losing his emotional balance. Now, testing the waters doesn't always come in the form of playful teasing. Sometimes it's in how she reacts to your patience. She might take a little longer to respond to messages, just to see if you get needy or desperate. She might cancel plans once, just to see if you react emotionally. She might act hot and cold for a moment, just to gauge how secure you really are. Most men fail these tests without even realizing it. They overreact. They start chasing. They try to seek reassurance. But a man who understands what's happening, he doesn't take the bait. He doesn't panic when she pulls away slightly. He doesn't start sending multiple messages, asking what's wrong, trying to regain control. Instead, he remains steady. He understands that attraction isn't about chasing. It's about holding your presence and letting her come to you. And here's the interesting part. The more secure you are, the more these tests work in your favor. Because the moment she sees that you don't break, that you don't fall into the same patterns as younger, less experienced guys, she starts trusting you. She realizes that you're not just another man who's easily thrown off by a little uncertainty. You're someone she can actually respect. So, Stoic friends, the next time you feel like she's testing you, don't react emotionally. Don't feel the need to prove yourself. Don't let your ego get involved. Just observe. Just be aware. Just stay in your center. Because the man who stays composed when tested, that's the man who commands attraction effortlessly. Now, let's make this real. If you're ready to pass every test without even trying, drop a comment below and type, "I stay unshaken." Say it, own it, and start carrying yourself with the quiet confidence of a man who never chases, because he doesn't need to. And here's the thing. Once she realizes that your confidence is real, not an act, something powerful happens. That's when the attraction deepens. That's when she stops just testing and starts feeling drawn to you in a way she can't quite explain. And that's exactly what we're talking about next. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will reveal the difference between a woman being curious about you and a woman feeling genuinely attracted to you. Number 6. She genuinely finds you attractive. Hey folks, let's get real for a second. There's this idea floating around that younger women only show interest in older men because of external factors like money, status, or social power. But here's the truth. Sometimes she's just genuinely attracted to you. No ulterior motives, no hidden agenda, no calculations, just real, undeniable attraction. And if you don't understand why, you might completely overlook or even sabotage these opportunities when they arise. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a younger woman hold eye contact with you longer than expected? Maybe she smiled. Maybe she started asking you personal questions. Maybe she even seemed slightly nervous around you. If you're like most older men, your first instinct might have been to dismiss it. She's just being polite. There's no way she actually finds me attractive. But let's flip that mindset for a moment. What if she wasn't just being nice? What if she was actually drawn to you in a way that even she might not fully understand? Because here's the reality. Women are not just attracted to age. They're attracted to presence. They're drawn to how a man makes them feel. And when an older man carries himself in a way that exudes confidence, security, and depth, that feeling is something most younger men simply can't create. So what does genuine attraction look like? It's in the way she reacts when you speak. When a woman is attracted to you, she's not just listening, she's engaged. She leans in. Her eyes focus on your lips as you talk. She mirrors your body language without even realizing it. These are subconscious signs that she's feeling something beyond just casual conversation. And let's talk about the way she behaves around you. If a younger woman finds you genuinely attractive, you'll notice small details. Maybe she fixes her hair when she sees you. Maybe she lightly touches your arm during conversation. Maybe she finds little excuses to be around you longer. She might even get slightly nervous. Because real attraction disrupts a woman's usual rhythm. It makes her feel something unfamiliar, something unexpected. You see, folks, most younger guys rely on surface-level attraction, looks, social status, flashy displays of confidence. But what really separates an older man is the depth of his presence. Younger women pick up on it. They notice how you don't try too hard, how you remain calm, even in situations where other men might seek validation. And the irony? The less you try to impress, the more she feels drawn to you. Now, here's where most men mess this up. The moment they sense attraction from a younger woman, they start overcompensating. They suddenly try to be extra charming. They overthink their responses. They change their natural behavior in an attempt to keep her interest. But this is where things go sideways. Because the moment you stop being yourself, the attraction fades. Think about it like this. She was drawn to you for a reason. She felt something different about you compared to the younger guys she's used to. So the worst thing you can do is start acting like those younger guys just to keep her attention. The way you hold your frame, the way you stay grounded, the way you allow her to be the one who is curious about you, that's what makes the attraction real. And let's clear up another misconception. Just because a younger woman finds you attractive doesn't mean she's immediately thinking about a relationship or any kind of long-term dynamic. Sometimes attraction is purely instinctual. It's not logical. It's not planned. It's just a reaction to the energy you put out. And the more you accept this, the more you stop doubting yourself when these moments happen. So, what's the best way to handle genuine attraction from a younger woman? You stay exactly as you are. You don't rush to prove anything. You don't change your demeanor. You simply let the energy build naturally. And trust me, when a woman feels that she's choosing you, rather than feeling like you're trying to convince her, the attraction becomes even stronger. Attraction isn't something you create. It's something you allow to happen. And the men who truly understand this never chase, never overthink, and never sabotage their own presence. So, Stoic friends, let's make this real. If you're ready to embrace the fact that attraction doesn't have to be forced, drop a comment below and type, "I attract effortlessly." Say it, own it, and start noticing the subtle moments where women are already drawn to you without you even trying. But here's where things get even more interesting. It's not just about what she feels around you. It's also about what you represent to the outside world. Sometimes, when a younger woman is drawn to an older man, it's not just a private attraction. It sends a silent message to others. And once you understand this, you'll see attraction from a completely new perspective. Stick with me, because what's coming next will open your eyes to an entirely different dynamic. Number 7. She's drawn to your composure. Hey folks, let's talk about something that younger women find incredibly attractive, but rarely admit outright. Composure. Not just confidence, not just experience, but the ability to remain calm, collected, and unshaken no matter what's happening around you. Think about the world younger women live in. It's fast-paced, filled with social media distractions, emotional highs and lows, and men who are reactive to everything. They see younger guys get flustered over small setbacks, get jealous over meaningless things, or let their emotions dictate their actions. But you're different. You don't react, you respond. You don't get thrown off balance by little things. And that's rare. Imagine this. She playfully teases you, expecting you to get defensive or over-explain yourself. But instead of taking the bait, you just smirk, hold eye contact for a second, and calmly continue the conversation like it's nothing. In that moment, she feels something different. She realizes you're a man who doesn't seek validation, who doesn't fall into the trap of emotional overreaction. See, composure isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. When you're steady in your presence, when you don't let external things dictate your internal world, it signals something powerful. You are in control of yourself. And a man who is in control of himself, that's a man a woman can't help but be drawn to. So, Stoic friends, let's make this real. If you're ready to embrace true composure and let your energy speak louder than words, drop a comment below and type, "I remain unshaken." Say it, own it, and start noticing how the world reacts differently when you carry yourself like a man who never loses his center. But here's where things get even more interesting. It's not just about how she feels when she's around you. It's about how your presence changes the way others see her. And once you understand that dynamic, everything shifts. Stick with me, because what I'm about to share next will open your eyes to a whole new level of attraction. Number 8. You offer a different energy than younger men. Hey folks, let's talk about something that truly sets you apart from younger guys. Your energy. Not just your presence, not just your confidence, but the entire way you carry yourself. It's something younger women notice instantly, even if they can't quite put it into words. You see, younger men tend to operate with a certain restless energy, impatience, eagerness, a need to prove something. They chase validation, they react emotionally, and they often let their egos drive their actions. But you move differently. You bring a sense of calm, of steadiness, of quiet strength that naturally draws people in. Younger women aren't just looking for excitement. They get plenty of that from the men their age. What they don't experience often is a man who is grounded, a man who doesn't need to talk over others to command attention, a man who can sit in silence and still make his presence felt. That kind of energy is magnetic. It's different. And when something is different, it becomes intriguing. Think about it. When a younger guy gets overlooked, he overcompensates. He tries harder, he talks louder, he competes for attention. But a man who is secure in himself, he never competes because he doesn't need to. That energy alone makes younger women take notice. And that's the ultimate power move. You don't seek to be noticed, yet you stand out. You don't rush to impress, yet you leave a lasting impression. And most importantly, you bring a different kind of experience to the table, one that makes her feel something she's never felt before. So remember, it's not about doing more. It's about being exactly who you are, steady, confident, and completely comfortable in your own skin. And that's the kind of energy that changes the entire game. All right, folks, that wraps it up. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of the game, because now you see what truly sets you apart. It's not about trying harder or chasing validation. It's about owning your presence, embracing your experience, and letting your energy speak for itself. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on confidence, attraction, and mastering the art of Stoic relationships. I appreciate you all. Stay grounded, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next one.